2.3 India Russia military cooperation. So this topic is in news because recently 21st India Russia summit was held. So but before knowing about this treaty, we will know about the background of India Russia defense and security cooperation. So in 1971, when India and Pakistan went into war due to its humanitarian crisis, Iran, Jordan, Turkey and France supported Pakistan militarily, and US and UK supported Pakistan with its naval power. So to counter that Pakistan, India urged for global support, and only Russia, that is the former Soviet Union, responded, and it was the only support for India when no one else supported. So Russia dispatched its naval vessels, nuclear armed ships and atomic submarines. It stopped the American and British warships for entering into India's territory, and it prevented direct clash between US, UK and India. So in 1971 itself, India and Russia signed a treaty of friendship, peace and cooperation. And in 2000, India and Russia became strategic partners. Next, they both stepped into the defense in security cooperation. So here, see the major agreements at 21st India Russia summit are, so first is joint production for 6 lakh AK 203 assault rifles, and next is to promote economic cooperation, bilateral trade of $30 billions and bilateral investment of $50 billions will be going to get increased by 2025, and both Reserve Bank of India and Bank of Russia will jointly respond against these cyber attacks and jointly fight against the terrorist organizations like ISIA, Al Qaeda, LET and drug trafficking and organized crime, etc. These are the basic agreements of 21st India Russia summit. So now let us look into this defense security cooperation. So here, India and Russia defense relation is not only limited to armed trade, but it expanded its various dimensions. So let us look into that in detail. So the first thing is military and military technical cooperation. So India and Russia have signed several joint military programs. In fact, military and military technical cooperation has remained a pillar of special and privileged strategic partners between India and Russia. Okay, military and military technical cooperation has been remained as a pillar of special and privileged strategic partnership between India and Russia. India purchased MiG-21 from Russia in 1962. This MiG-21 is a supersonic jet fighter and interceptor aircraft. And not only this, India purchased T-90S Bhishma battle tank in 2001. India leased Akula 2 nuclear submarine for 10 years. And India purchased INS Vikramaditya in 2004, and in 2018 India has also signed S-400 aircraft missile defense deal. And here India also signed a bilateral intergovernmental military and technical cooperation for the year 2011 and 2020. Okay, so for the period of 2011 to 2020, India has signed a bilateral intergovernmental treaty and technical cooperation in 2009. And the next is, recently in the 21st India Russia summit, a 10-year defense cooperation pact was also signed. So now here in this we'll know about this. So here, let us know about this S-400 Triumph air defense missile system and CATSA. Okay, this S-400 air defense system is one of the most advanced air defense systems in the world. This has a capacity to repel almost all forms of aerial attacks. So, as a security threat from China and Pakistan are increasing, India needs this S-400 defense system. But on the other hand, US want India to end its dependence on Russian weapons. So all these are Russians, right? Over 68% of India's defense weapons are from Russia. So US don't want that to happen. US want India to end its dependence on Russian weapons. So in 2017, the US Congress, that is the lawmakers, has passed a law called CATSA, which means Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act. And the main aim of this act was to counter the so-called American enemies, that is Russia, Iran and North Korea, by sanctioning the countries who deal with these countries. Okay. So the US has recently sanctioned Turkey on its purchase of S-400 deal with Russia. So after knowing about this CATSA, India took a forward step with Russia in its S-400 deal. So as India is very important for US strategically and is also a major defense importer, the US has introduced a bill for sanctioning a waiver from CATSA to India. So this is about the S-400 air defense missile system and CATSA. Now let us know about the changing dynamics of defense and security cooperation. As China has also emerged as a global power, Russia is becoming close to China and India is becoming close to USA. So the instances which tells us about the deepening relations with US and India are: first is with Quadrilateral Security Dialogue 2.0, India and US became close to counter this Chinese influence in the Indo-Pacific region. The second is the economic relationship with India and USA has become deeper in 2020 to 21 with $80.5 billion and the foreign direct investment with $13.8 billion. India has expanded its defense purchase with USA as well. So some of the instances which express a close relation with Russia and China are: the first is Russia is supporting China strategically in Eurasian region. Okay. So the second is in 2014 Russia China signed $400 billion gas deal to strengthen their economic relationship. So as all these are strategical steps to counter the global powers, that is China and US. India and Russia are acting strategically to counter and to help each other in their economical and strategical growth. So the way forward is, as India and Russia has signed 10-year defense cooperation pact from 2021 to 31, this defense cooperation must be used to achieve common interest, to achieve peace and stability globally by the mutual cooperation in the Eurasian region, Arctic and Afghanistan, etc. Next is by regularizing the National Security Advisory level security dialogue for strategic understanding and coordination of operations. Next is by promoting joint development and co-production of weapons. This can be helpful for India's Make in India program. And joint manufacturing for the space parts and logistics support should be increased Diversification of trade relations by including the private sector also deepens the relations and gives a chance to India for faster economic development. In international organizations like US, G20, and BRICS, SCO, there is a mutual cooperation between India and Russia. In fact, Russia asked India to join SCO to counter China, that is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So, to protect the strategic autonomy, India and Russia collaboration in the international order is very important.